All right, with the NFL draft just 4 days away, we heard from John Schneider and also head coach Mike Macdonald today just on the draft process, and here is what they had to say.
Yeah, we haven't been in here in a minute. Thanks for coming out. Big thank yous to Mike and his staff with all the work, preparation, obviously the scouts, all the hard work they put in, being away from their families in the spring and the fall, and out here for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Sam Ramsden, David Strickland, all the docs, just everybody involved in the process. It's been a great process this year, and just really thankful and grateful to be getting ready for our 16th draft year.
Yeah, I think you have a really strong feel for the cadence about what happens and when and what those conversations are like. But just like John said, I mean, it's year two. Understanding our process and how we do it, it really helps.
Wrapping up everybody's opinions, and we'll get to a spot where Mike and I just can walk through every scenario, and so we're not in a position to overthink things. Especially once we get to the weekend, we want to be able to have it look like we want it to look, and our kind of guys, and just be able to maneuver and pick good players for this talented staff. Pretty much being all the way through, but really, your need ends up being part of our grading system too. It's part of, we're comparing prospects to our players. Not necessarily, it's just the way we do it, not necessarily the rest of the National Football League. What does our team look like? And so, what I was talking about the combine is, sometimes you think you're just filling a hole, and you're jumping that player ahead of more talented players. We can just go pick darn good football players. We're excited to have 4 of those quarterbacks. We have 3 quarterbacks who throwing for over 3,000 yards in the season, and all of them can move. That's a pretty cool group. Getting Drew back here, Drew's very well respected in the building, and so it's great. It's great to get him back here into the mix. He had other opportunities, and we stayed in touch with his agent and wanted to be able to. We spent time with him in Florida, so Mike get to know him a little bit when we were down there, and just a great person, great competitor at this building.
That was a red flag. Like, can't touch this guy. It's just I don't know. I just feel like that's a little overconfident in the process. So, where my role is, in my opinion, is it's another data point to augment like what all the scouts have done, what the rest of the work that our coach has been doing with all their interviews. And I wanted just to have an opportunity to connect with that person for that time that we're at that opportunity. And, really excited about the guys that I've met and been able to connect with over this process. There's a lot of great human beings in this draft that have awesome stories, and it gets you excited about the opportunity to coach some of these guys. So when they're in the building, you get a better feel for who they are and kind of what has got them to this point.
Mike, as soon as we get an opportunity, we get settled. We got to do this because this community is amazing. People are extremely giving, and it's like I think it's like $70,000 to $80,000 a year now for treatments, and it's hard for a lot of families. So it's been overwhelming. It's just a really awesome reflection on the community here in Seattle, state of Washington. I dreamt about this as a kid. I mean, like Paul Zimmerman, like getting the Sports Illustrated day, right? And you get the Sports Illustrated 1 week before the draft, and there was a one mock draft in there. God rest his soul, he's passed away now, so I don't know how many mock draft 4.0s or 7.5s he had. He only had his one. He only had his one. So this is the most exciting time, because it's like this influx of like new talent that's coming in, respecting the past, respecting who's here, and then bringing in these really this new group of guys that everybody's done an amazing job of spending time with and identifying.
It's been defined, and they've been running it for quite a long time. think what's cool about what these guys, you can make the mistake of saying, hey, we're gonna be really myopic, and this is what we need, and we're not budging. They're not like that. You know, they're kind of seeing the whole player and then having a vision for how they would fit with us. But definitely understand like what we're going to be asking them to do is really clear.
John.
All right, so there you go. You heard from General Manager John Schneider, Head Coach Mike Macdonald, just talking about the process, and they dabbled a little bit in terms of their players, but they were never going to tell us who it is that they were going to draft. Some quick takeaways for me was the fact that they said they're listening to trade offers for Sam Howell. That means Drew Lock is really their number 2 quarterback, and you heard Macdonald talk about, and Schneider as well, that they talked with Drew Lock at the NFL Combine. So that Lock coming to the Seahawks is a plan they had already, and that's something that they wanted to do, and when the opportunity was there, they took on it. Also, 2 other player news. Schneider said that the Uchenna Nwosu is on track to come back for training camp, and also I thought it was interesting because he was asked about Charles Cross and if they're going to pick up the 5th year, and Schneider diplomatically said, we'll talk to you at a later date. And as for the Seahawks, a couple of the things are obvious to me. They know who they want. They know the kind of player they're looking for, and they're very confident in that. And so, now their hope is that that player will be available, and they've put the process together, and they have this plan. Then we're gonna have to see how that player is going to fit into this new system with Clint Kubiak as the offensive coordinator. And Macdonald talked about, yes, we know Clint Kubiak now, and they've talked. They know the kind of player they want to fit into that system. And as I said, the hope is that he will be available. And so the Seahawks have 10 picks going into the draft. Obviously, the big one is number 18 on Thursday, 18 overall in the first round. This is what I got from today. The Seahawks are confident. They know what they want, and they are going to draft those players. Is it offensive lineman? Is it a linebacker? I don't know. But you want me to guess? I think it's going to be an offensive lineman. From the VMAC in Renton, I'm Osvita Maria for the CascadiaSports.net report. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for liking. Let's subscribe. Thank you.